Jean-Paul Gaultier released Le Male, the iconic sailor torso bottle, the clean, powdery lavender vanilla, the barbershop freshness that defined an entire generation. It was legendary. But here's the thing about legends. They age. For nearly 30 years, JPG tried to recapture that magic. Le Male Terrible, Le Male Le Parfum, Le Male Ultra Male, Le Beau. Flanker after flanker after flanker. Some were good, some were forgettable. But none of them, not a single one, became the undisputed king. Until October 2023, when JPG released a flanker that didn't just compete with the original, it obliterated it. They called it Le Male Elixir. And within 4 months, it did what 30 years of flankers couldn't. It became the new king. Here's the question that's going to drive this entire video. How good was Le Male Elixir in its prime, when it was the perfect flanker that finally got everything right? Because here's what most people don't realize. Elixir didn't just perfect the Le Male formula. It went viral so fast, so completely, that it's already facing the exact same curse that killed Sauvage and Coumarin. Ubiquity, the double-edged sword of being too good. So today, we're going back to late 2023, back to the winter when Elixir dropped and immediately dominated every fragrance conversation, back to when it wasn't just the best Le Male flanker. It was the best designer fragrance of the year. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Elixir's story is both a triumph and a warning. But first, if you want more videos breaking down the legends, the hype, and the truth behind the fragrances everyone's talking about, hit that subscribe button. Right now, you won't regret it. Let's begin. Let's talk about the Le Male flanker problem. Because by 2023, there was a lot of baggage. The original Le Male, 1995, was a masterpiece. Clean, fresh, powdery. The scent of confidence without aggression. But by 2020, it felt dated. The clean barbershop vibe that defined the 90s didn't resonate with the modern fragrance market. Modern consumers wanted projection, performance, beast mode. They wanted sweet, they wanted thick, they wanted fragrances that dominated. So JPG tried Le Male Terrible, 2010. Too weird, too niche. Le Male Le Parfum, 2020. Better, warmer, more vanilla, but still not enough. Ultra Male, 2015. Sweet, yes. Loud, yes. But messy, unrefined. Each flanker was a step closer, but none of them hit the bullseye. And then, in October 2023, JPG brought in perfumer Quentin Bisch. The same nose behind Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Baccarat Rouge 540, one of the most successful niche fragrances of the decade. And they gave him one mission: create the Le Male that 2023 demands. What he created wasn't just a flanker. It was a revolution. Let's talk about what made Le Male Elixir different, because this is where the genius begins. The opening, lavender and mint. Familiar. A callback to the original Le Male, but thicker, sweeter, almost syrupy. This wasn't the clean, fresh lavender of 1995. This was lavender drenched in honey. Here's the question. Why did honey change everything? Because honey is sticky. It clings to your skin. It refuses to fade. It's nature's performance molecule. And Bisch didn't just use honey, he weaponized it. The heart, benzoin, tonka bean, and vanilla. Warm, creamy, almost edible. But here's the genius. Underneath all that sweetness, there's a whisper of tobacco. Not smoky, not harsh, just enough to add depth. masculinity, edge. This was the formula that solved the Le Male problem. Keep the DNA, lavender, plus vanilla. Amplify the performance, honey plus benzoin. Add modern depth, tobacco. The dry down, amber and coumarin. Thick, warm, long-lasting. The kind of base that doesn't fade for 12 hours. Let me repeat that. 12 hours. Most designer fragrances fade after 4 to 6 hours. Elixir? It was still projecting at hour 8, still there at hour 12. This was beast mode. But not aggressive, not loud, refined beast mode. The kind of performance that made you smell incredible without choking out the room. And the bottle? Gold stripes on the iconic sailor torso. Flashy, opulent, unapologetically extra. It looked expensive. It felt expensive. And at $100 to $130, it was priced perfectly. Premium enough to feel luxurious, accessible enough to fly off shelves. But the scent alone wasn't enough to make it legendary. Because Elixir launched at the perfect moment. October 2023. The timing was surgical. Elixir dropped right before the holiday season. Cold weather, holiday parties, gift-giving season. And it was a gourmand powerhouse designed for exactly that. Heavy, warm, sweet. The kind of fragrance that wraps around you like a cashmere coat. Here's the question. Why did Elixir dominate when other flankers failed? Because it wasn't trying to be a flanker. It was trying to be the fragrance. The fragrance community's reaction was instant. YouTube exploded with reviews. Le Male Elixir is a beast. This killed Le Parfum. Best designer release of 2023. Reddit threads debated batch codes within weeks. TikTok flooded with compliment magnet videos. And the sales? Elixir didn't just succeed. It cannibalized its predecessor. Le Male Parfum, the previous flagship, was immediately sidelined. Stores couldn't keep Elixir in stock. By December 2023, it was clear this wasn't just a successful flanker launch. This was a cultural moment. The fragrance that finally gave the Le Male line a worthy successor. For a brief, glorious winter, Elixir was untouchable. The compliment king, the date-night weapon, the cold weather champion. But here's the problem with being untouchable. Everyone wants to touch you. Let me ask you something. Can a fragrance be too perfect? Because by mid-2024, the cracks started showing, not in the formula, in the perception. The first complaint, it's everywhere. What started as exclusive, the new king, became ubiquitous. Walk into any club, any party, any office in 2024, and someone was wearing Elixir. The same fragrance community that crowned it king started saying, it's basic now. Everyone and their cousin owns this. I moved on. The second complaint, it's too sweet. Critics started calling it the sugar monster, the honey, the tonka, the vanilla. It was overwhelming for some. They argued that the promised tobacco note was buried under syrup, that the dry down was cloying, too gourmand, too much. Here's the question. Is being too sweet a flaw or a feature? Because the same sweetness that made Elixir a compliment magnet also made it polarizing. You either loved it, addictive, seductive, unforgettable, or you hated it, cloying, suffocating, diabetes in a bottle. And then came the whispers. The new batches aren't as strong. My bottle from December 2023 projects way more than my friends from June 2024. They reformulated already. True or not, the perception was set. The legendary launch batches, the prime bottles, were now being hunted like a Ventus 11Z01. And every new bottle purchased came with a gamble. Is this the beast or the watered-down shadow? Elixir didn't fall, but it faced the exact same curse that killed Sauvage and Coumarin. Success so complete, so fast, that ubiquity became inevitable. So how good was Le Male Elixir in its prime? Here's the truth. Le Male Elixir in its prime, late 2023 to early 2024, wasn't just good. It was definitive. It didn't just perfect the Le Male formula. It proved something the fragrance world had forgotten. A flanker can surpass the original. Le Male, 1995, was a product of its time. Clean, fresh, safe. Le Male Elixir, 2023, is a product of our time. Bold, sweet, unapologetic. It rejected the barbershop. It embraced the beast. And in doing so, it gave the Le Male line what it desperately needed: relevance. Elixir did 4 things that secured its legend. First, it balanced performance with refinement. Beast mode without being obnoxious. 12-hour longevity without choking people out. Second, it modernized a classic. It kept the DNA but amplified everything the 2023 market demanded: sweetness, projection, presence. Third, it killed its predecessor. Le Parfum didn't stand a chance. Elixir was simply better in every measurable way. Fourth, it became a cultural moment. Not just a fragrance, a conversation. But here's the lesson. Elixir's prime wasn't about the scent. It was about the timing. It launched at the perfect moment, winter 2023, when the market was hungry for a high-performing designer gourmand. It delivered exactly what people wanted. And it went viral so fast that within 4 months, it had already completed half its life cycle. So the real question isn't, how good was Le Male Elixir in its prime? The real question is, can a fragrance be too perfect? Can you nail the formula so completely that everyone buys it and ubiquity kills the magic? Here's what you take away from the rise and controversy of Le Male Elixir. Lesson 1. Perfection is a double-edged sword. When you get everything right, everyone wants it. And when everyone has it, it's no longer special. Lesson 2. Speed is the enemy of longevity. Elixir peaked in 4 months. Most legends take years to build. But in 2024, virality doesn't wait. Lesson 3. Polarization is proof of impact. The sugar monster debate isn't a weakness, it's evidence that Elixir matters. Boring fragrances don't get debated. Because here's the deeper truth. Elixir didn't fail. It succeeded so hard, so fast, that it's now fighting to maintain what it built in just a few months. The original Le Male took decades to become a legend. Elixir tried to do it in a season. And that's the modern fragrance paradox. In the age of TikTok, YouTube, and Reddit, can anything stay legendary for long? Or does perfection burn too bright, too fast? So the question isn't whether Elixir was good in its prime. The question is, are you building something that can survive its own success? Something so well architected that even when everyone discovers it, the foundation holds? Because that's the ultimate test, not being perfect, staying perfect. If this video made you rethink the flanker you thought was just hype, smash that like button. If you want more deep dives into the fragrances that dominate, divide, and define the culture, subscribe right now and turn on notifications. We're just getting started. And here's the debate. I need you to settle in the comments. Is Le Male Elixir a masterpiece or a sugar bomb that's too sweet for its own good? Team masterpiece or team too sweet? Drop your vote below. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, architect your signature and subscribe to the Fragrance Affair community.